Great. Yeah, I'll just hop right into it. Yeah, so I'm from EOS Cafe, Calgary. We're a block producer in Canada. We're really excited about EOS, and I personally love tokenomics. I just love everything that we can do with this technology. So I'm really happy to kind of share my thoughts here. Yeah, so we've actually kind of always had a token economy. I know it's been a big hot topic lately, but we've used tokens in our economy for more than 5,000 years. The use of tokens has actually predated writing. It probably contributed to writing, and they were used in the economy for accounting. They were used to redistribute the wealth of society. So every token that you see here in this picture actually is an abstraction, and it actually represents a physical unit of a commodity in the economy of that time. So the token economy is it has a crypto angle now, but it's actually nothing new. We've kind of always had one, and even today we might not call them by name, but if a token is simply just kind of a physical abstraction of something in the real world, we have them all over the place. So stocks and bonds, they represent physical ownership of an asset, and really all financial instruments are tokens, and they really do underpin our economy. A casino chip is a really simple token to kind of conceptualize, but it's a powerful example because what it does is it gives the power, the control of a currency into one organization. So it lets one issuing organization control the currency, control the exchange, control where and how it's used. And governments, institutions, they use tokens. So food stamps is an example. It's a program, and what it does is it allows the U.S. government to give aid, but it allows them to direct how the aid is spent. So if the intention of this program is to help people feed themselves, then you give them this token, and you limit their ability to use it, so that just to make sure that they are spending it on food, that they're spending it for the intention of the program. So we've always lived in a token economy. We currently do, even if we don't use the name. And what we've really done in the digital age is we've created token systems. So even predating blockchain, we started creating some really complex token systems. Rewards programs is a great example. And this one has really changed it's really started to influence our behavior. So the rewards programs like Air Miles, they influence where we spend our money. So where we get the most points, how we spend our money, what credit card gets the most points, and even where we travel, even where we spend our rewards and where we travel, where we take vacation, even that is influenced by this token system. Loyalty programs are related, like Starbucks' loyalty program, but they create a cycle where the more you spend, at Starbucks, the more points you get, the more likely you are to spend your points at Starbucks, and it creates a feedback loop. It creates loyalty, but it really, tokens used in this way in complex systems, they really start to influence our behavior. So just a quick note about what makes the difference between tokens and money is, I just made this chart, and basically money here, you can spend it on an unlimited amount of things. They're highly transferable into other stores of wealth or to transfer to other people. It's kind of, what makes money money. And tokens, by contrast, they usually have limiting factors. So they're used for one function. They're used for one thing. And in the example of the Starbucks rewards program, for example, you can only use it at Starbucks, and you're not actually able to transfer it to anyone else or exchange it for any other store of value. So that's what differentiates tokens from money. But we use them in the economy because they're easy to understand. And even modern day crypto tokens. So like you can see here, they fit this mold. So even with the most current technology, we're still using tokens that basically are limited to the function of whoever issues them. So whether that's the Binance token, the Steam token, or Everpedia, that's just part of what differentiates tokens from money. So basically what's changed? Why are we talking about tokens now? We're all in cryptocurrency, and why are we using this word in correlation? So for example, this is just the word token and how often it's searched in Google, and it peaks with the bull run in crypto in last December. So what's changed if we've always had a token economy? And it really is the advantages of blockchain. Blockchain, so these programs, these token systems, they are expensive to administer, but with blockchain, a lot of the inherent properties of blockchain actually make it very cheap to administer your own token system. So they have built-in scarcity, or the issuer can control the supply. They're not possible to forge or copy. They're hard to steal. Once you have a token, they're very cheap to distribute it. You distribute them electronically to whoever wants one through an ICO. Maybe you just give them away through an airdrop, but they are cheap to distribute. And then once you distribute them, what your users, what DApp users, like how they use their token, what they spend it on, who they send it to, that's actually very easy to keep track of because it's all on blockchain. So, and if you want them to be exchangeable, if you want to market for your token, they're easily exchangeable, or they're also easily controlled and limited if you don't want them to be exchanged. And just a note on the administration costs. So token systems, they're incredibly powerful, but they're also, with conventional technology, very expensive. So the food stamp program that I mentioned before, that cost the US government over $3.6 billion just in administration. So this isn't aid that is going to people. This is just the cost of the program to give them this, token that they can only spend on food. Just the administration per year is $3.6 billion. The owner of Air Miles, that is Alliance Data. They have over 20,000 employees, and they drive almost $8 billion in revenue administering their loyalty program. And this is just a giant tokenomic system where that has, just like Luke showed it, it has customers, it has users, and it has employees, and it has all these partners, and just the complex web and keeping track of everything. It demands this many employees with conventional technology. But tokens are intuitive. So what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that it's just as intuitive to us now that these tokens on my phone, once I reach a certain balance, get me a free coffee. That's just as intuitive to us now as it was in ancient times that this clay tablet would entitle someone to a wheat harvest. So tokenomics and using tokens for accounting, that's not new, and we've always kind of used it, and it's always been intuitive to us, which is exactly why now that the barriers to creating a tokenomic system are so low with blockchain technology, we are seeing, and we're going to continue to see, an explosion in tokenomic systems, just kind of unleashed by the blockchain. And the applications, like what we can do, the creativity, now that once the barriers drop, like we can see there's all types of tokenomic systems. So there's tokenizing an asset. So no one right now can buy $20 of Google stock, and there's really no reason. With blockchain technology, you can have tokens that give you membership, that you can only walk through a certain door, or you can maybe have an app with controlled spending. Like imagine giving your kid an allowance, but they can only spend it on what's on a whitelist, or they can't spend it on what's ever a blacklist. And that's kind of all enabled just through smart contracts, just right on the blockchain. Resource distribution, universal basic income. This is now very possible and very affordable because a government or an organization can just distribute tokens basically for free. And this would have an incredible administrative burden before. Influence systems like Steemit, like Everpedia, we've actually found a way to kind of commoditize the influence. So one of the main demands for these tokens is so that people can have influence on just the platform itself. It's kind of a self-fulfilling system. It's a really cool token system, and just incentives and rewards. We've looked at reward programs and how they're already kind of influencing our behavior, but this can be done on a smaller scale, or this doesn't need to be done for profit. This doesn't need to be done by a multi-billion-dollar organization to influence our behavior in a negative or controlling way. This can be done for very beneficial reasons. So there's so many applications of tokenomics. It's just kind of up to our creativity. So why EOS? So in this token economy, why is EOS such a good platform for this, and why are we all excited on EOS? And I mean, it really couldn't have a better platform. So distribution, we can airdrop, we can give away our tokens to create demand for them. We can have people come and grab the tokens, so whoever wants them can have them, or we can have a funding model, an ICO model, and all those models are available on EOS, but they're scalable. So unlike other platforms, thousands of dApps can be built, all with tokens, all using their transactions, and the platform is going to be able to handle it. Part of that is free transactions. Once a dApp has issued their tokens, their users can interact with the dApp or interact with each other for free, which is amazing, and it's a big selling feature of EOS. And part of that is it enables microtransactions. So you can have a dApp that might give you a fraction of a penny for every step you take, which wouldn't make sense when you're paying for transactions. But that on EOS, it does make sense, because for free transactions, there's no limit. There's no, like, you can send as small a transaction as you like, a microtransaction. Accounts and identities. This is really big for dApps. dApps want to know who their customers are. They want to know what they're doing, and the ability for EOS to have accounts, to link an account and an identity and maybe even a reputation ranking to the holder of tokens is huge. In EOS, there's staking, spending, and burning, so you can do all of these with tokens. So you could have a model that burnt tokens 30 days after issuing them, or you buy tokens to spend them on products, or you stake them and you actually get to keep your tokens, and you get to basically apply them in one direction or another, or some combination. So it really just unlocks the creativity of what we can do with tokens. Voting, like Luke was saying, for the first time, this isn't a one-way street. This isn't just someone distributing tokens. The owner of tokens can actually influence the organization or the issuer. So imagine, going back to the Starbucks example, if the super users of Starbucks who accrue the most points, could actually vote on what the next latte flavor of the company would be. I mean, it's a silly example, but it's the kind of thing that gets unlocked in EOS. And smart contracts, like Ethereum, smart contracts really opens up the blockchain, but EOS has the scalability. And if you integrate that with Internet of Things and AI, there's just unlimited possibilities of what can be built on this platform, using tokens, using tokenomic systems. And governance, well, it might be a hot debate. This should attract people to the platform, because it gives dApp developers, they can name their own arbitrator that any users of the dApp would use. So it's definitely a benefit of EOS if you're looking at building a tokenomic system, because you don't have to deal with the immutability of tokens that are on other blockchains. So that's why I think EOS is such a good platform. And if you look, going to blocks.com, and you look at tokens, I mean, we've only been live for 3 months, and we already have, almost two dozen tokens, and we're not even live 3 months. And I'm sure over time this is just going to kind of explode in how many tokens we see in the different applications and what they're used for. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about EOS. Hope to see this list just absolutely explode. And yeah, that's I'll open it up for questions.
Thanks so much, Haley. So we'll take one question for Haley. If you want to just write something in the chat window, or just ask a question as well on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so maybe Cybercode Twins has a question, which is someone mentioned that EOS Cafe was working on a virtual cafe with tokenization.
A virtual cafe, yeah. So one of our team members, he's working in High Fidelity to create a cafe. There is a tokenomic system in the High Fidelity world, but we actually are trying to open cafes. So one of the things that at EOS Cafe that we support is this concept. We want to bring kind of tangibility to the crypto world. We want to let people use a token, but get something tangible with it, because everyone's grasping for something tangible. So we think coffee is just coffee's kind of ubiquitous. It's everywhere in the world. Everyone understands it. It's affordable. So we're trying to actually bring not virtual cafes, but real cafes that use tokens and are cryptocurrency friendly, but that use a tokenomic system. So it's definitely something we're working on, and hopefully we have a token on this blocks page coming up.